Hello, and welcome to the next LCK 2023 preview video. We're covering Fredit Brion. All these teams are in alphabetical order. If you go on my channel, you'll see playlists for all four major regions. The LPL one is 8 teams deep already. There is no secret. I do not think Fredit Brion is very good. And when doing this board, I just don't have a lot of nice things to say. So, last year, Fredit Brion at all three levels had a losing record. LCK 11-25, Challengers 23-49, and then Academy 4-8-14. Top to bottom, it's not a good spot, right? We just did Damwon, a team that I would consider maybe, and I said in that video, they may be the best looking team top to bottom at every level of their organization, where Fredit Brion might be one of the worst. Edgar is the coach. He is a former world champion head coach. You have to give him his credit and his flowers for that. He's had a good career, but he continues to try and have them play the game like it's 2016 and 2017. It's just not the case. Edgar is 129 and 137 over his career. A couple moves this team made. Lava has went to Brazil, which gave Karis the opportunity to join Fredit Brion. This was like the last team available, so Karis joins them. And then in the bot lane, Delight goes to Gen G, and Effort joins from Nongshim Red Force to play as the support on this club. Going into this year, the average age is 21.6 years old. In top lane, we have Morgan. At 21 years old, put up a 2-3 KDA, 8-3 CS per minute, 57 KP. All solid numbers, above average. 409 damage per minute, 23.6 damage share, 22.4 gold share, 9 solo kills across 36 games. He'd play 11 champions. He did split time with Sword over the last year. His 3 most played champions, Gnar, Gwen, and Ornn. So a nice mix there. You got Gnar, which is kind of in between. Gwen, more so a finesse champion, and then Ornn, which is a pure tank. A lot of people like Morgan. I think Morgan is just meh. These numbers indicate that he actually, if you really think about it, Fredit Brion stinks. So you have to think his numbers relative to his team are actually pretty good. To be above average on a team like this is pretty good. Think maybe like an Astralis situation in that regard. There is no pressure from beneath him for, a starting spot. So Frim has joined at 18 years old. They're listed on the Challenger roster. The last time they played more than 10 games for a team was in 2021 with Damwon Challenger. Last year, he played with the Kwangdong Freaks Challenger team for a few games. At 18 years old, put up a 267 KDA, 836 CS per minute, 54.4 KP. So above average at the Challenger level, 514 damage per minute, 22 gold share, 7 champions, 28 games. Graves, Jace, Gwen. Obviously, these numbers, like I said, are from 2021, so actually 2 years old now. So I doubt Frim is going to push Morgan for a spot. And then we have Semen. Semen is 18 years old, put up a 207 KDA, 818 CS per minute, 57 KP in Academy. So he is not at a point where he should graduate. 564 damage per minute. Pretty high damage. 23.8 gold share. So definitely one of the better players on the Academy team. But still, these numbers are not great. The 2 KDA means he's dying a lot. 6 champions in 19 games. Renekton, GP, and Jax. Iris is the 4th string top laner. They didn't play 10 games, but they did play sparingly at 17 years old last year. So, it actually, I'm bringing back a bunch of teams I've already done. You think back to it, and this is a lot like IG as well. IG did not have a ton of options at the lower levels of, no, LGD. It was LGD, I think. Because IG did have some players. LGD had a lot of garbage in their, depth chart, and Fredit Brion looks to be in a similar position. Umpty was brought back recently, actually. At 23 years old, I imagine he's going to start again. 2.4 KDA, 5.1 CS per minute, 75 KP. This team plays extremely slow. Now, that's the problem. See, so Umpty's not, he's in 75% of the action. The team is not doing a lot, though, so he should be really farming and getting ahead because he's not going to be creating anything. 3 out of every 4 kills he's involved in, but this team is one of the slowest playing teams in the world. 224 damage per minute, 13.5 damage share, 17.6 gold share, 1 solo kill across 39 games. He played 8 champions, Wukong and Poppy. He played 25 of the 39 games. After that, it was a bunch of champions 3 times each. So, a heavy Wukong and Poppy player, to say the very least. Raptor at 18 years old, they tried to bring him up a couple times last year, still raw. Probably, he shouldn't have been called up. He should have been getting him more time at the challenger level. He only put up a 2.8 KDA, 5 CS per minute, 76 KP in challenger, which those numbers are very reminiscent of Umpty. I mean, any proper organization is going to run every team the same in style of play, so, you know, the transitions are easier. So I think it's a style of play issue. 263 damage per minute, 13.1 damage share, 17.9 gold share, 7 champions in 20 games. Lee Sin, Viego, and Wukong being his most played. So Raptor probably still did it again. I think he's going to put pressure on Umpty, but maybe not deservedly so. The most notable player, actually, in their academy system is Camel. Camel, at 18 years old, put up some good numbers in academy. 231 KDA, 619 CS per minute, 73.3 KP. So he's a little bit of carry to his game. I'd argue that he should probably be bumped up to challenger and get a look. 410 damage per minute, 20.7 gold share, 8 champions, 28 games. Viego, Graves, Lee Sin, very standard. Definitely a player that probably, should be bumped up to challenger for sure. There are not many players that I will say that about on this board. Excuse me. Still sick. Who would have thought? Karis at 19 years old. He's played with HLE. HLE stunk. Probably worse than Fredit Brion. Style of play with standing. Karis put up a 2 KDA, 8 CS per minute, 64 KP, so none of those numbers are great. He's losing lane. He's dying a lot. Not very involved. 425 damage per minute, 24.5 damage share, 21.1 gold share. That's a very low gold share. You're looking at a third-tier carry on a team. 8 solo kills in 46 games, played 13 champions. One could argue he should have played less champions. Azir, Silas, and Ari being his most played. And what do I mean by that? If you're not excelling on a foundational, I think about it this way. I love a champion ocean. I prefer players to have a champion ocean because then they can have counters and pocket picks and provide some pizzazz to the draft that the other team has to waste resources and time to prepare for. I think that is a good thing. But if you're playing a bunch of champions at a average to below average level, they don't have to respect anything. So unless you have you need a foundation of 6 to 8 champions that you can pull out and know I am not going to get dumpstered in lane. I'm going to be even at worst. I can hold my own. And this does not tell me that. Karis probably should, take it back a notch and get a foundation of some champions. Now behind him, there is no pressure. Ivory at 19 years old did not play a lot, played sparingly, so there's actually not a 10-game sample size to cite. Excuse me. Excuse me, I apologize. One of the very few imports, T-Long, or at least nationality is not, he wasn't born in Korea, listed on Leaguepedia, is T-Long. He's from Vietnam. And he also is in a similar boat as Ivory, that there is not a sample size to cite, but both are listed on the Challenger roster. One is the Academy mid laner at 17 years old, put up a 194 KDA, a 709 CS per minute, 60.8 KP. That is awful. 517 damage per minute, 20.7 gold share, 11 champions, 28 games. Silas, Akali, and Galio. These numbers suck. He definitely should not be called up. And at the very least, may not even be worthy of Academy, and they should go find somebody else. Because I know it's 17 years old. That's a very... well, maybe they should give him some time. Give him another year. I mean, he's only 17 years old. Damn it. In bot lane, we have Henna. Henna, the numbers are pretty good. 2.9 KDA, 9.7 CS per minute, 70.7 KP. When you take into account the team plays slow, they fight around the bot lane. Early to mid game, he's just farming. His numbers are pretty good for his situation. Definitely not the part of the team that's really inting it for them. 447 damage per minute, 25.4 damage share, 24.2 gold share. 3 solo kills in 39 games, played 11 champions. Aphelios, Zeri, Callista. I believe those 3 champions are the only ones he played more than 3 times. Gammon is the backup. He did play a bit last year, similar to the Raptor situation. Gammon did get a couple looks. A player that is pretty good for Challenger, may even, if they can take the next step this year at 19 years old, warrant getting an opportunity at the LCK level. So this is a position where at least there's some pressure for the starter. Gammon put up a 3.9 KDA, 9.4 CS per minute, 66.7 KP, 474 damage per minute, 23.8 damage share, 24.7 gold share, 1 solo kill in 24 games. He'd play 10 champions, Zeri, Callista, and Ezreal. So, you know, this is definitely the strongest position on the roster, depth-wise. Felice is playing at the academy level at 17 years old, put up a 1.9 KDA, 8.3 CS per minute, 61.9 KP. Pretty standard with this academy team. They're not very good. 552 damage per minute, 23.1 gold share, 9 champions, 28 games. Kesa, Ziggs, and Varus being his most played. So an interesting champion pool. If you think back to the meta in summer, that is, Ziggs was not a thing. It was in spring, but not in summer. So definitely, you know, bot lane, it is the Henna and Gammon show. At support, we have Effort. At 22 years old, Effort lost his job in Nongshim more than once last year. A 2.3 KDA, 72.1 KP. Would put up a 2.53 vision score per minute, clear 2 wards every 5 minutes, 9 champions in 22 games, Tom Kench, Rakan, and Nami being his most played. Behind him, there's a 16-year-old at the challenger level, Palu. Palu put up a 2.96 KDA, 68.4 KP, but only played 10 games last year. I believe these were in academy, but he is listed as a challenger support now that Lupi is with Damwon Kia. Palu played Karma and Rakan. Most notably, after that, I think he played everything once. With 7 champions in 10 games, that would be the case. And then Flozel, who played alongside Felice, is 18 years old. Put up a 1.86 KDA, 58.4 KP, 10 champions, 28 games. Nautilus and Leona being the 2 notable champions he played. The 58.4 KP is pretty damn bad. When you look at Felice at 61.9, it seems that the bot lane's holding hands and not doing anything to create. Flozel is not getting out of lane to do things on their own. At least that's what the numbers look like. I had some, you know, I appreciate Protex posting the Cloud9 video on their subreddit. And then you have some people that say, you know, the stats are irrelevant. You know, if you don't have a background in stats, if you don't have a degree, apparently you can't look at stats and make inferences, which I think is ludicrous. We can make inferences and speculate, especially when we don't watch the games. That's all we can really do. I'll be honest, I have to speculate based off of numbers for all the academy and challenger players. I don't watch that. But I do watch the highest level of play, so I do have a good idea of what the starters look like. But it is a thing. So, Fredit Brion, this team, If you can sell it in the comment section. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Look at the playlist. Become a YouTube member. $3 a month supports me. Keeps the channel alive. Keeps the lights on. $10 a month to get extra content, including my predictions for when the games start. The night before the game or the day before the game, I post who I think will win each match. And at the members only tier at $10. So if you want to do that, that's there. Thank you for watching. I hope you come back for more content.